What if I told you Chevy just dropped the alpha of the Corvette lineup, and it might just be the biggest WTF moment in its history? Feast your eyes on the 2026 ZR1X. 1,250 horsepower, all-wheel drive, a twin-turbo V8 with hybrid assist, and Corvette's craziest performance claims ever. It's the most unhinged, over-the-top Corvette we've ever seen, and yet Chevy didn't call it Zora like we expected. Why not? Well, we'll get to that and much, much more. But first, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and get ready, because Chevy's top dog is here and it's got claws. You can't fully appreciate this thing without seeing the bigger picture, because the ZR1X didn't just drop out of the sky. Chevy's been building towards this performance evolution for years. Remember 2019? That was the last year of the front-engine Corvettes. Then came the mid-engine C8, the flat-plane crank Z06, followed by the E-Ray hybrid. And then the ZR1 arrived, with 1,064 horsepower of madness. All stepping stones of the ZRX1, a car so radical that most of us thought it would get the name Zora. But here's the deal. Zora wasn't just a cool-sounding name. Zora Arkus Duntov was the legendary engineer often called the father of the Corvette. He was the guy who fought tooth and nail to turn the cute sports cruiser into a high-performance icon. He was the one who stuffed the V8 into early Corvettes and created mid-engine concepts way back in the 60s, when that idea sounded insane. Without him, the C8 might not even exist today. So when Chevy teased a high-performance hybrid all-wheel drive Corvette, fans thought this is it, the finest vet, in his honor. But nope, despite Zora whispers and global trademarks, Chevrolet went with ZR1X instead, a callback to the ZR1 legacy with the X hinting at experimental hybrid technology. And Zora or not, the spec sheet delivers. Just like the ZR1, the ZR1X uses an LT7 5.5-liter twin-turbo V8 with a flat-plane crankshaft. It's capable of 1,640 horsepower and 828 pound-feet of torque. And that's just the combustion side. Up front, an electric motor adds 186 horsepower and 145 pound-feet of torque, pulled from a 1.9 kilowatts per hour lithium-ion battery. It's the same pack from the E-Ray, but cranked up. Usable juice is up by nearly 30%, voltage is higher, and motor RPM jumps from 16,000 to 17,000. So now, the electric assist stays in the game, up to 160 miles per hour, 10 more than in the E-Ray. After that, the front motor just disconnects. Altogether, that's a combined 1,250 horsepower, making it the most powerful production vet ever. How does that translate into speed? 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds, quarter mile in less than 9 seconds, and a trap speed of 150 miles per hour. Keep in mind, these are all GM estimates, but once independent tests hit, we're all ears. Top speed-wise, its non-hybrid sibling hit 233 miles per hour on the German oval. So based on the fact that the ZR1X is designed and marketed as the pinnacle of all Corvettes, it'll most likely smash that benchmark. The combustion engine is from the ZR1, the battery pack is from the E-Ray. But what's not been borrowed is this: the E all-wheel drive system, rebuilt from scratch for the ZR1X only. Chevy says it can simultaneously pull 1G forward and sideways, which is nuts. 1G of lateral grip is race car level handling. 1G of forward acceleration is hypercar and EV territory. But both at the same time? That's rare. This bit, though, is worth paying attention to: the ZR1X's brand new J59 braking system. Now let me tell you, these are carbon ceramic brakes the size of dinner plates, 16.5-inch front and back, 10-piston front calipers, 6-piston rears. They will yank the ZR1X down from 180 miles per hour to 120 miles per hour with 1.9 G of deceleration. It's the most hardcore brake setup ever put on a vet. The lightning-fast 8-speed dual-clutch automatic is back. But this time, it's paired with Chevy's PTM Pro system. If you're like, what the heck is PTM? It's short for Performance Traction Management. It adjusts shift timing, gear hold, torque distribution, and power delivery based on your driving behavior. And here's another bonus, EV-only drive mode up to 45 miles per hour for 3 to 4 miles, plus some new hybrid energy strategies. We'll circle back to this in a bit. To the untrained eye, it might look like just another Stingray. But if you're a die-hard Corvette fan, you know the ZR1X is an upgraded, airflow-obsessed monster dressed head to toe in carbon fiber. The reason is simple: lightweight, strong, and aero efficient. You see the hood with that big vent right on top? It's a flow-through setup. It pulls up hot air from the intercoolers and out through the top vent to keep the engine bay from overheating. Team that with the carbon fiber splitter, smooth underbody and underwing, and you've got some serious suction happening under the car. Along the sides, there's one bold detail waiting to grab your attention: the massive carbon wishbone inlets. These suckers feed air straight to the rear brake cooling ducts and turbos. The rear end, though, is where things get serious, guys. The aggressive wide bodywork is packed with extra intakes on the top and on the flanks. Every bit of it is functional, feeding air and cooling components. But it's the carbon aero pack that unlocks the big stuff in the ZR1X. We're talking a huge high-mounted carbon wing, carbon dive planes, a hood gurney lip, and reshaped underbody strakes. Together, you're looking at a brutal 1,200 pounds of downforce. That's record-breaking for any production Corvette. The ZR1X rolls on Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires or optional Cup 2R tires with the ZTK Performance Package. Even though the hybrid system adds about 250 pounds, Chevy promises the ZR1X still handles just as neutral and planted as the ZR1. Alright, enough staring at the outside. Let's take a look inside. Thank God this is not the old Corvette cabin. The ZR1X's interior is fully updated and feels way more in line with the expected price tag. Now, if you've seen the ZR1's interior, well, it wasn't bad, just not exactly refined. Like that weird vertical stack of climate buttons that ran up the center console? Yep, that thing is finally history. The layout is now much cleaner, more open, and more premium. The whole center console has been reworked with the ZR1X. The wall lowered, opened up, and is now a sleek grab handle. The famous button overload is now smartly relocated. Some line the bottom of the infotainment screen, the rest sit in a tidy horizontal row underneath it. Now hold up, it gets even better. The ZR1X now rocks 3 screens. The old center touchscreen jumps from 8 inches to a huge 12.7-inch center display. Now that's a big glow up. The digital gauge cluster bumped up to 14 inches. And right beside the wheel, there's a new 6.6-inch auxiliary touchscreen for things like launch control, PTM settings, the G-meter, and heads-up display adjustments. And since this is the ZR1X, there's some extra spice baked in: hybrid energy management. That includes hybrid boost control, front axle regen tuning, and adjustable torque strategies, all integrated into the PTM Pro and the Performance app. For seats, you've got GT1s for comfort or competition sports for track days. Dial it up to the 3LZ trim, and Chevy goes full luxury. You get heated and ventilated Nappa leather seats, plus power lumbar and adjustable side bolsters. Hybrid or not, the ZR1X is the craziest Corvette ever. Which begs the question, if this isn't Zora worthy, then what the hell is? The ZR1X is set to land by Christmas. And if you don't want to miss what's happening next, you know what to do. Hit the bell, like, and subscribe. Until then, keep rolling.